Well, hello. Today we're doing a short tutorial on Smart Notebook. Smart Notebook is a tool that is used to create interactive lessons for students in the classroom. With Smart Notebook, you're able to create a lesson where the student can come up to the board and actually move things up on the whiteboard. Actually move things and reveal correct answers or wrong answers, or just show their knowledge. It's a fun way for students to interact with the training itself. It gets them up and out of their seat and gets them moving around, which is always a good thing in a classroom. So right now I have the Smart Notebook software up. And as you look at this, I'm going to just orient you to what we have here. First, on this left side is a preview. It looks something like PowerPoint. You can see my slide that I have up right now, and I can always insert another slide and just add slides. And if you had 20 slides, they'd all be lined up here. I'm going to delete this one though. So next, you see these tabs. I'm only going to cover a few of these tabs. This is has gallery, has media, has images, interactive media, notebook files, backgrounds and themes, and you can break these down even more if there's things that you want to use in here. There's pictures. You can select if you want to use this picture, and all you got to do is take it, drag it, and drop it in. We'll get into that here a little more. I'm going to delete it. So that's what is within this tab here. This tab we're not really going to deal with. It just it lists the files by name and their attachments that you might have on here. This tab we are not going to do anything with, but you can use this, as you can see, for creating fills or gradients to give color to your images if you needed to. The next tab is an activity builder tab, which is where all the action is built, where we create the activity for the students to do. And the last slide is for the Smart Response System, where you can create questions and queries and responses for the students. We're not really going to discuss this for this training. It's a little more involved than we want to get. So down here is where you can add a page or delete a page. I rarely use these over here, really. I use these up here. They serve the same purpose. Add a page. If I click on here, it adds a page. If I'm on that page, I want to delete it, I just hit delete. This is your refresh. Here's your screen preview. You can change it and see full screen. So there we are at full screen. And then you have several different tools here that we're really not going to use. If you had a camera hooked up, or if you had one of the document readers hooked up, this is where you'd use it. We'll go to the Smart Exchange. This is to insert a table. If you want to insert a table, you would use this right here. And then we have what's called Smart Exchange, where this will take us to the website where we can look at others. We can search and find other people's lessons that they've already made, and then we can tweak them and we can download it and adjust it and make it our own, and put our own material in there for whatever our subject might be. So you can look at these. There's Connect 4, there's Jeopardy, there's all kinds. There's thousands of them in here actually when you do your search. But that's not something I'm really going to get into in this training. I want you to explore that, though, and see what you can find that is of particular interest to you. So we'll go back to our smart board here and continue forward. This is just the same thing as right here, and we're not going to get into that. This is your activity builder. It's the same thing as here. I click on that, and I can start doing my activity building. Now here is the pointer, obviously. Here we have predetermined shapes that we can pick from. And just more shapes, same thing. Fill colors. if I want to do them. Transparency, if I want to adjust the transparency. Pins, there are all different kinds of pins. I had students go up right on the board. They can select all different. You see how this does a lot of different patterns in what they do. And there's all different types of pins here. We can go with a crayon. We can go with a highlighter, creative pen, shape recognition pen. It automatically takes it into a square. If I was making it round, well, I didn't recognize it very well. But it cleans it up for you. The font tool. Over here, adjust your fonts. Your font size, you should be no smaller than 34 when you're doing this, because you got to think about you're looking at kids that are out in the classroom. They need to be able to see this. And so there's your font. Just click in there and put in your font. And you can adjust size and type of color and all that with this also. If I want to just put in lines, I have a line with a square at each end. I have a line with an arrow at each end. You have all these different tools, just all kinds of fun little tools to do. And so you just play with it. You can see all different things you can do. And then I want to erase, and I can go through and I can make this eraser some things that won't erase, some things I have to select specifically. So I need to go back to my pointer, select it, and then hit the delete key. Delete key. Just select and hit the delete key. Delete. So this is all, it's pretty easy to use. There's all kinds of neat things to use in it. So let's talk about the interactive part of this. Let's make some things here. First, we'll start with real simple. You can put in pictures in here, images. You can do all kinds of stuff, but I'm just going to start real simple just so we can see and understand what's going on. So I'm going to select the circle. And I'm just going to make a circle here. And let's do a square. And that's good. And let's do a triangle. There we go. Now we got to remember, to select them, I have to go to the pointer. If I want to grab this, see, I want to move it. Just, as long as you're on the pointer, you can move these around and do things with them, adjust them. If I want to select it, then I just click on it, as long as I'm on the pointer. You notice this little arrow, this little box here. These give me options. And all I got to do is select it, and then I can do options and do all these things. Infinite cloner, lock, unlock, flip, border. And I can also adjust, just like you would, as you've seen in other programs. So I know right now I want these locked, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. So I just gonna lock them in place. Click on the box, lock in place, and lock in place. Okay. Now let's do some text. I want to identify these, so I'm going to write down here. I'm going to write triangle. Okay. I'm going to write come over here. I'm going to write circle, and then over here I'll put a square. Okay. Now I'm going back to the pointer to select these, and this is where I want them. Now at this point I need to save this. I have these are all three locked. These are not locked. By locked meaning I cannot move these. I can't move these, whereas these I can move. Right? So now I want to make this interactive. I want the students to be able to take this triangle, drag it over, and drop it in here, and have something happen so they know they're right. Or if they drop it on this one, they're wrong. It's not the right place. So how are we going to make this interactive? We go down here to the Activity Builder, and we click on Activity Builder. Now at this point, we need to identify what is the source. So in this case, let's do the circle first. This is why it had to be locked. We don't want the students to be able to grab the circle and move it around. We want them to only be able to move the words. So the words are not locked, each one of these is locked. And you can tell that because of this little lock right here. So I've selected the circle. Now I can hit edit. If you recall, I couldn't hit edit yet. I have to select something first. So I hit edit. Now, the idea is I want the students to be able to drag the word circle up into there and get a good response, the correct response. I don't want them to be able to get a correct response from the word triangle or the word square. So I just grabbed those and I dragged them over here. I could have also, let me drag these down to the trash. I could have also, right now I have circle up here. I know all others I want it to decline. This is the reject these objects box. This is the accept these objects box. So I wanted to accept the circle because we're working with the circle, and I can just click add all remaining. Oh, you see what happened here? The triangle is not locked apparently. When I hit add all remaining, you notice the triangle ended up over here. So now I got circle there, triangle, square there. This is done. This is set up. If I drag triangle up there, it won't take it. If I grab square, it won't take it. If I grab circle, it will take it. So let's go to settings. I want it to spin. If that's a correct thing, if they drag this word circle up into here, then it's going to spin and stay right there. If it's wrong, it's going to bounce back. Now I can also add a sound if I want to. Also play sounds, and we'll go into that. So I hit done. Now, if you notice one activity object on page, that's this. So I want to do another one. So I'm selecting the square, and I'm doing the same thing. I want it to accept the square. So I put it up in here, accept these objects, but I don't want it to do the others. And you notice only the words came in. The triangle did not come in this time. Now, I want to do the same thing over here. I want it to spin, and I want it to bounce back if it's wrong. It's correct? Spin. Now, you could also play the objects down here as well. So, in other words, you could have it so it plays a sound, and you can actually record the sound where you say, good job, that's the right answer. Or down here, oh, sorry, try again. You can do this. So we hit done. Now I have two activities on this page. Let's do the last one. The triangle. Same thing. Go to edit. I'm going to grab the triangle and put it up here to accept it. And I'm going to have all others declined. I'm going to settings again. I'm going to have it spin, bounce back. We're going to call it done. So this page is done. This is a simple thing. First graders, what's the triangle, what's the circle, what's the square? First thing I need to do is go to File. I want to save this. I'm just going to save it to the desktop and just call it test. No. Save. Okay. And I did that because I want to be able to revert it back to where it is now, like this. So let's make it a lesson. Full screen. I have it projected up onto the whiteboard. So let's give it a test. Let's put the square up here. It won't go. What if I put the circle up there? It doesn't go. So Johnny, come on up here and tell us where the triangle is. And Johnny goes up the whiteboard with his hand, touches the triangle, drags it over, drops it in. And good job, you got it right. And he does the same thing with one of these. Now, as you can imagine, think of this as a project or any type of activity. Now, this is very simple here. You could have it. If you're history, you could have presidents' faces, a bunch of different presidents' faces. Say you're covering the first 6 presidents of the United States. You have their 6 faces up there, and then you have their names down below, and you can have them draw their names up there. You could also, let me go. I go here and I go back to reset page and reset. That's why I saved it. When I saved it, that's what it resets the page to whatever the file is saved at. Okay, so now we understand how this works and the idea behind it. Let's go ahead and create a new pages. Let's go ahead and let's do it this way. I got a new page now. I want to insert a picture in here. Picture. All right, and I can go to here. Let's just do let's do this one. I'm going to hold the control key while I do that one, that one, that one, this one. It's not letting me do multiples. Alright, so I'll do this and I'll open. Okay, there's my picture. It's too big. I want it smaller. All I gotta do is go down the bottom corner here, drag it, make it smaller. And obviously, let's bring it back out where it was. Obviously, if I hold the shift key, it does it to proportion. Alright, I want to insert another picture. Let's I'm gonna insert a few pictures and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got 3 images here and I've got 3 words. I'm going to lock these words just to show you there's multiple ways that you can make this work for you. Let me just lock all 3 of these here real quick and I will show you now. Those are all locked. So I'm going to move this down. I'm going to move all these images down here. And I want to make these images, I want to bring them to the front. Order, bring the front. There we go. And I'm going to do each one of these. You know, it's always, everything I need is here. So let's bring it to the front. Oops. And let's bring it to the front. So, I have my students. And the task is, I want them to name what these are. What is this? What is this? What are these? And these are things we've been working on. So I come down here. I want them to take the pen. Let's just use, and let them pick the pen. So what is this? And they can go up to the board and they write it. And obviously I'm trying to write it with the mouse, so it's not very pretty. But they write it. And after they've written it, we go back to the pointer. I'm missing some stuff here. There it is. Go back to the pointer. And now, they've written it, so let's see if they're right. They grab the image, drag it down, and you're right. The same thing. So, just different ways that you can use Smart Notebook. All different ways. Go into this Smart Exchange here and look at all these different methods and different ideas, the things people do. There is much more to this that we just don't have time to be able to cover and can't cover in as much detail as we would like to. But for your project, you just need to create a Smart Notebook for your lesson plan that has a moving activity, and everything that's supposed to be locked must be locked. And things that aren't supposed to be locked should not be locked. So have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing your projects.